Good evening, everyone. This is James Ramelli from KeenOnTheMarket.com. I'm here to talk to you guys about two trades that came across today using our new Alpha Tracker indicator. This is, in my opinion, one of the coolest indicators that we've come out with, one of the most unique and most novel things that you can find out there in terms of tracking order flow and money flow in the stock market. And it doesn't just work for the stock market, it works for anything that has volume. So ETFs, stocks, futures, anything that has volume, we can use this type of indicator for. So what we have here are, you see two green and red dashed lines here. That's the upper part of the study. And what this is showing me is defensive buyers and sellers stepping into the market. Now, these lines were developed some time ago in the IBB. We'd have to go back pretty far to see them here. One back here from Tuesday, and then the seller came in that same day somewhere up here. But what these levels tell us going forward is where the big defensive lines in the sand have been drawn in the IBB here by big money. And I can use these levels to play different types of strategies. So today what we saw was a little bit of a push higher off the open in IBB until it hit this defensive line up here, which should serve as upside resistance. Now it's consolidated around this level for a little while here on the 5-minute bar, but take a look at what happened here. The lower study shows me real time buying and selling by big and small money, and it also shows me when there's big aggressive sellers or buyers coming in, and that's what this little red bar flagged here. Okay, and what happens? We eventually break lower until we touch to the tick off of the lower bullish defense line here that should be downside support. Now, we didn't really run too far off of this level here. We went from 92.35 up to 95.08, but for a day trader that could have really shown some nice profits here trading the IBB. So you can see it hit two different ways here, to the short side and to the long side in one day using the same indicator. And I have one more example that I want to go over here in FCX. Now, I traded FCX for earnings. I held a big put position that I had on through the earnings event. And as the stock was getting crushed this morning, I'm watching it first break through this big defensive line. So I know that there's probably going to be some acceleration to the downside coming. And that happened right before the conference call. But what's really cool to see here is that as the stock was moving lower, I was taking profit targets in my position. I was selling puts that I was long, right, for higher and higher prices until I was just a couple of cents off of hitting my final price target at 95 cents. I was trading the AUG 14 puts. Well, I was going to sell them for 95 cents until I saw this, a big aggressive seller, 1.7 million shares whacked in this bar. And I said, you know what? I'm going to cancel my offer and I'm going to try and get a better price. And I did. I was able to get 10 cents better on those puts to get out of the position. And they actually traded 20 cents. Or I'm sorry, they actually traded as high as $1.20. So I could have gotten even better fill. But I timed that. And the reason I held out for a little bit more was because of this big seller coming in here that was flagged by Alpha Tracker. So you can see it has a lot of different applications. The trader could have used it to day trade today. A trader could have used it to manage exits and manage entries as well. Fantastic tool with a ton of applications and something you guys should really check out. If you are a day trader, swing trader, or futures trader, this is one of the most novel and most unique indicators around. So thank you guys very much. Everyone have a fantastic evening, and as always, happy trading.